V. Special topic 20 marks. I. The Code of Criminal Procedure. Point 1973. Definitions. Section 2 A. Section 2 C. Section 2 H. Section 2 I. Section 2 L. Bailable offense. Cognizable offense. Investigation. Judicial proceeding. Non-cognizable offense. Section 2 N. Offense. Section 2 W. Summons case. Section 2 X. Warrant case. Arrest. Section 41 When police may arrest without warrant. Section 41A Notice of appearance before police officer. Section 41B Procedure of arrest and duties of officer making arrest. 03 marks. Section 41D Right of arrested person to meet an advocate of his choice during interrogatio. Section 43 Arrest by private person and procedure on such arrest. Section 44 Arrest by magistrate. Section 46 Arrest how made. Section 50 Person arrested to be informed of grounds of arrest and of right to bail. Section 51 Search of arrested person. Section 53 Examination of accused by medical practitioner at the request of police. Section 54 Examination of arrested person by medical officer. Section 57 Person arrested not to be detained more than 24 hours. Section 167 Procedure when investigation cannot be completed in 24 hours. Section 151 Arrest to prevent commission of cognizable offenses. Summons and warrant. Section 62 Summons how served. Section 64 Service when persons summoned cannot be found. Section 66 Service on government servant. Section 72 Warrant to whom directed. Section 74 Warrant directed to police officer. Section 77 Where warrant may be executed. Seizure. Section 102 Power of police officer to seizure certain property. Section 105E Seizure or attachment of properties. Section 105H Forfeiture of properties in certain cases. Security proceedings. Section 106 Security for keeping the peace on conviction. Section 108 Security for good behavior from persons disseminating seditious matters. Section 109 Security for good behavior from suspected persons. Section 110 Security for good behavior from habitual offenders. Information to the police and their powers to investigate. Section 155 Information as to non-cognizable cases and investigation of such cases. Section 156 Police officers' power to investigate cognizable cases. Section 157 Procedure for investigation. Section 160 Police officers' power to require attendance of witnesses. Section 161 Examination of witnesses by police. Section 164 Recording of confession and statements. Section 174 Police to inquire and report on suicide etc. 2. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offenses ACT, 2012. 02 marks. Section 7 Sexual Assault. Section 8 Punishment for sexual assault. Section 11 Sexual harassment. Section 12 Punishment for sexual harassment. Section 16 Abetment of an offense. Section 22 Punishment for false complaint or false information. Section 23 Procedure for media. Section 24 Procedure for recording statement. Section 43 Public awareness about POCSO Act. 3. The Information Technology ACT.2000. 02 marks. Section 43 Penalty and compensation for damage to computer system, etc. Section 43A Compensation for failure to protect data. Section 65 Tampering with computer source documents. Section 66 Computer-related offenses. Section 66B Punishment for dishonestly receiving stolen computer resource or communication device. Section 66C Punishment for identity theft. Section 66D Punishment for cheating by personation by using computer resources. Section 66E Punishment for violation of privacy. Section 66F Punishment for cyberterrorism. Section 67 Punishment for publishing or transmitting obscene material in electronic form. Section 67A Punishment for publishing or transmitting material containing sexually explicit act, etc. in electronic form. Section 67B Punishment for publishing or transmitting material depicting children in sexually explicit act, etc. in electronic form. Section 72 Penalty for breach of confidentiality and privacy. Section 77B Offenses with 3 years imprisonment to be bailable. Section 78 Power to investigate offenses. The right to information ACT.200501 marks. Section 2 F. Information. Section 8 Exemption from disclosure of information. Section 9 Grounds for rejection to access in certain cases. Section 11 Third-party information. V. The Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, 1985-02 marks. Chapter 4 Offenses and Penalties. Sec. 25 Punishment for allowing premises etc. to be used for commission of an offense. 27 Punishment for consumption of narcotic drug or psychotropic substances. 28 Punishment for attempt to commit offenses. 31A Death penalty for certain offenses after previous conviction. 37 Offenses to be cognizable and non-bailable. Chapter VA Forfeiture of illegally acquired property. 68F Seizure or freezing of illegally acquired property. V. Criminology topics to be covered. 02 marks. Different criminal justice theories including theories of punishment. The impact of social status on offense. The impact of the social media on the rise of crime rate. Neighborhoods and crime. 7. Indian Penal Code, 1860. 04 marks. IPC offenses. Offenses against property. Theft. 378. Theft. 379. Punishment for theft. 380. Theft in dwelling house, etc. 381. Theft by clerk or servant of property in possession of master. 382. Theft after preparation made for causing death, hurt or restraint in order to the committing of the theft of extortion. 383. Extortion. 384. Punishment for extortion. 385. Putting person in fear of injury in order to commit extortion. 386. Extortion by putting a person in fear of death on grievous hurt. 387. Putting person in fear of death or of grievous hurt, in order to commit extortion. 388. Extortion by threat of accusation of an offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life, etc. 389. Putting person in fear of accusation of offense, in order to commit extortion. Of robbery and dacoity. 390. Robbery. When theft is robbery. When extortion is robbery. 391. Dacoity. 392. Punishment for robbery. 393. Attempt to commit robbery. 394. Voluntarily causing hurt and committing robbery. 395. Punishment for dacoity. 11 sections. 396. Dacoity with murder. 397. Robbery, or dacoity, with attempt to cause death or grievous hurt. 398. Attempt to commit robbery or dacoity when armed with deadly weapon. 399. Making preparation to commit dacoity. 400. Punishment for belonging to gang of dacoits. 401. Punishment for belonging to gang of thieves. 402. Assembling for purpose of committing dacoity. Of criminal misappropriation of property. 403. Dishonest misappropriation of property. 404. Dishonest misappropriation of property possessed by deceased person at the time of his death. Of criminal breach of trust. 405. Criminal breach of trust. 406. Punishment for criminal breach of trust. 407. 407. Criminal breach of trust by carrier, etc. 408. Criminal breach of trust by clerk or servant. 409. Criminal breach of trust by public, servant, or by banker, merchant or agent. Of the receiving of stolen property. 410. Stolen property. 411. Dishonestly receiving stolen property. 412. Dishonestly receiving property stolen in the commission of a dacoity. 413. Habitually dealing in stolen property. 414. Assisting in concealment of stolen property. Of cheating. 415. Cheating. 416. Cheating by personation. 417. Punishment for cheating. 418. Cheating with knowledge that wrongful loss may ensue to person whose interest offender is bound to protect. 419. Punishment for cheating by personation. 420. Cheating and dishonestly inducing delivery of property. Of fraudulent deeds and dispositions of property. 421. Dishonest or fraudulent removal or concealment of property to prevent distribution among creditor. 422. Dishonestly or fraudulently preventing debt being available for creditors. 423. Dishonest or fraudulent execution of deed of transfer containing false statement of consideration. 424. Dishonest or fraudulent removal or concealment of property. Of mischief. 425. Mischief. 426. Punishment for mischief. 427. Mischief causing damage to the amount of 50 rupees. 428. Mischief by killing or maiming animal of the value often rupees. 429. Mischief by killing or maiming cattle, etc., of any value or any animal of the value of 50 rupees. 430. Mischief by injury to works of irrigation or by wrongfully diverting water. 431. Mischief by injury to public road, bridge, river or channel. 432. Mischief by causing inundation or obstruction to public drainage attended with damage. 433. Mischief by destroying, moving or rendering less useful a lighthouse or sea mark. 434. Mischief by destroying or moving, etc., a landmark fixed by public authority. 435. Mischief by fire or explosive substance with intent to cause damage to amount of 100. Or, in case of agricultural produce, 10 rupees. 436. Mischief by fire or explosive substance with intent to destroy house, etc. 437. Mischief with intent to destroy or make unsafe a decked vessel or one of 20 tons. Burden. 438. Punishment for the mischief described in section 437 committed by fire or explosive substance. 439. Punishment for intentionally running vessel aground, or ashore with intent to commit theft, etc. 440. Mischief committed after preparation made for causing death or hurt. Offenses against body 299 culpable homicide 300 murder 301 culpable homicide by causing death of person other than person who death was intended 302 punishment for murder 303 punishment for murder by life convict 304 punishment for culpable homicide not amounting to murder 304A causing death by negligence 304B dowry death 312 causing of miscarriage 313 causing miscarriage without woman's consent 314 death caused by act done with intent to cause miscarriage 319 hurt 320 grievous hurt 321 voluntarily causing hurt 322 voluntarily causing grievous hurt 323 punishment for voluntarily causing hurt non-cognizable 324 voluntarily causing hurt by dangerous weapon or means 325 punishment for voluntarily causing grievous hurt 326 punishment for voluntarily causing grievous hurt by dangerous weapons or means 326A voluntarily causing grievous hurt by use of acid 326B voluntarily throwing or attempting to throw acid 327 voluntarily causing hurt to export property, or to constrain to an illegal act causing hurt by means of poison, etc., with intent to commit an offense. Voluntarily causing grievous hurt to extort property, or to constrain to an illegal act. Voluntarily causing hurt to extort confession or to compel restoration of property. 328. 329. 330. 331. 332. 333. 334. 335. 336. Voluntarily causing grievous hurt to extort confession, or to compel restoration of property. Voluntarily causing hurt to deter public servant from his duty. Voluntarily causing grievous hurt to deter public servant from his duty. Voluntarily causing hurt on provocation. Voluntarily causing grievous hurt on provocation. Act endangering life or personal safety of others 337 causing hurt by act endangering life or personal safety of others 338 causing grievous hurt by act endangering life or personal safety of others 339 wrongful restraint 340 wrongful confinement 341 punishment for wrongful restraint 342 punishment for wrongful confinement 343 wrongful confinement for 3 or more days 344 wrongful confinement for 10 or more days 345 wrongful confinement of person for whose liberation writ has been issued 346 wrongful confinement of in secret 347 wrongful confinement to extort property, or constrain to a legal act 348 wrongful confinement to extort confession, or compel restoration of property 349 force 350 criminal force 351 assault 352 punishment for assault or criminal force otherwise than on grave provocation 353 assault or criminal force to deter public servant from discharge of his duty 355 assault or criminal force with intent to dishonor person otherwise than on grave provocation 356 Assault or criminal force in attempt to commit theft of property carried by a person. 357 Assault or criminal force in attempt wrongfully to confine a person. 358 Assault or criminal force on grave provocation. 359 Kidnapping. 360 Kidnapping from India. 361 Kidnapping from lawful guardianship. 362 Abduction. 363 Punishment for kidnapping. 363 Kidnapping or maiming a minor for purposes of begging. 364 Kidnapping or abducting in order to murder. 364 Kidnapping for ransom, etc. 365 Kidnapping or abducting with intent secretly and wrongfully to confine person. 366 Kidnapping, abducting or inducing woman to compel her marriage, etc. 366 Procuring of minor girls. 366 Importation of girls from foreign country. 367 Kidnapping or abducting in order to subject person to grievous hurt, slavery, etc. 368 Wrongfully concealing or keeping in confinement, kidnapped or abducted person. 369 Kidnapping or abducting child under 10 years with intention to steal from its person. 370 Trafficking of person. 370 Exploitation of a trafficked person. 371 Habitual dealing in slaves. 372 Selling minor for purposes of prostitution, etc. 373 Buying minor for purposes of prostitution, etc. 374 Unlawful compulsory labor. 375 Rape. 376 Punishment for rape. 376 A punishment for causing death or resulting in persistent vegetative state of victim. 376 A punishment for rape on woman under 12 year of age. 376 B Sexual intercourse by husband upon his wife during separation. 376 C Sexual intercourse by person in authority. 376 D Gang rape. 376 D punishment for gang rape on woman under 16 years of age. 376 DB punishment for gang rape on woman under 12 years of age. 376 A punishment for repeat offenders. 498 A husband or relative of husband of a woman subjecting her to cruelty. 509 Word gesture of act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. 376 RW. 511 Punishment for attempting to commit rape offense against women. 304 B Dowry death. 306 Abetment of suicide. 354 Assault or criminal force to women with intent to outrage her modesty. 354 A Sexual harassment and punishment for sexual harassment. 354 B Assault or use of criminal force to woman with intent to disrobe. 354 C Voyeurism. 354 D Stalking. 376 Punishment for rape. 376 A Punishment for causing death or resulting in persistent vegetative state of victim. 376 A B Punishment for rape on woman under 12 year of age. 376 B Sexual intercourse by husband upon his wife during separation. 376 C Sexual intercourse by husband upon his wife during separation. Gang rape. 376 D A punishment for gang rape on 376 D woman under 16 years of age. 376 D B punishment for gang rape on woman under 12 years of age. 376 E punishment for repeat offenders. Husband or relative of husband of a woman subjecting her to cruelty. Word gesture of act intended to 498A. 509. Insult the modesty of a woman. Punishment for attempting to commit rape. 376 RW. 511. Offenses by or against public servant. 10. IPC Section 166. Public servant disobeying law, with intent to cause injury to any person. 3. IPC Section 166A Punishment for non-recording of information. 4. IPC Section 166B. Punishment for non-treatment of victim. 5. IPC Section 167. Public servant farming an incorrect document with intent to cause injury. IPC Section 168. Public servant unlawfully engaging in trade. IPC Section 169. Public servant unlawfully buying or bidding for property. IPC Section 170. Personating a public servant. IPC Section 171. Wearing garb or carrying token used by public servant with fraudulent intent. General exceptions in IPC. IPC Section 76. Act done by a person bound, or by mistake of fact believing himself bound, by law. IPC Section 77. Act of judge when acting judicially. IPC Section 78. Act done pursuant to the judgment or order of court IPC Section 79. Act done by a person justified, or by mistake of fact believing himself justified, by law. IPC Section 80. Accident in doing a lawful act. IPC Section 81. Act likely to cause harm, but done without criminal intent, and to prevent other harm. IPC Section 82. Act of a child under 7 years of age. IPC Section 83. Act of a child above 7 and under 12 of immature understanding. 8. IPC Section 84. Act of a person of unsound mind. 9. IPC Section 85. Act of a person incapable of judgment by reason of intoxication caused against his will. 9. IPC Section 86. Offense requiring a particular intent of knowledge committed by one who is intoxicated. 1. IPC Section 87. Act not intended and not known to be likely to cause death or grievous hurt, done by consent. 13. IPC Section 88. Act not intended to cause death, done by consent in good faith for person's benefit. 15. IPC Section 89. Act done in good faith for benefit of child or insane person, by or by consent of guardian. 12. 13. Caused. IPC Section 90. Consent known to be given under fear or misconception. IPC Section 91. Exclusion of acts which are offenses independently of harm. 14. IPC Section 92. Act done in good faith for benefit of a person without consent. 15. IPC Section 93. Communication made in good faith. 16. IPC Section 94. Act to which a person is compelled by threats. 17. IPC Section 95. Act causing slight harm. 18. IPC Section 96. Things done in private defense. 19. IPC Section 97. Right of private defense of the body and of property. 20. IPC Section 98. Right of private defense against the act of a person of unsound mind, etc. 14. 15. IPC Section 99. Act against which there is no right of private defense. IPC Section 100. When the right of private defense of the body extends to causing death. IPC Section 101. When such right extends to causing any harm other than death. IPC Section 102. Commencement and continuance of the right of private defense of the body. IPC Section 103. When the right of private defense of property extends to causing death. IPC Section 104. When such right extends to causing any harm other than death. IPC Section 105. Commencement and continuance of the right of private defense of property. IPC Section 106. Right of private defense against deadly assault when there is risk of harm to innocent person. Sec. 268 Public nuisance. 269 Negligent act likely to spread infection of diseases dangerous to life. 270 Malignant act likely to spread infection of diseases dangerous to life. 277 Fouling water of public spring or reservoir. 290 Punishment for nuisances in cases not provided for. 8 Kerala Police ACT 2011. 04 Marks. Sections. 3. General duties of police. 4. The functions of the police. Dash. Section 7 Citizens have the right to efficient police service. 10. Police stations to be always functional. Dash. 13. Persons competent to verify the station diary and custodial facility. 14. Kerala Police. 29. Behavior of police officers. 30. Police officers to maintain good health. 31. Police to keep information confidential. 32. Police officer liable to explain. 33. Police in public may keep audio or video or electronic records. 57. Police to attempt to locate missing persons. 61. Police to regulate and control traffic. 64. Community policing. 85. Police officers be subject to discipline. 95. Police officers not to show cowardice. Dash. 117. Penalty for interfering in the functions of the police. 118. Penalty for causing grave violation of public order or danger. 119. Punishment for atrocities against women. 120. Penalty for causing nuisance and violation of public order. 126. Compounding of offenses.